And today we are going to talk a little bit about the right side. So we will learn a bit about the subtle system. We will also do some treatments or techniques that help us calm down, which is very important for entering meditation. And then we'll do a meditation by the end of the session. So I will see if I can just share screen. So maybe, Libin, can you share that image of the chakras with Shri Mataji next to it? Actually, I can do it myself. Oh, there you go. Thank you. There you go. So I just want to have this in front of me to think on it. Okay, so you've probably seen this diagram before, and we keep coming back to it. It's very important. It's very helpful for us to understand what's going on in our subtle system. So today we'll talk a little bit about the yellow channel. It starts down here at the second chakra, and then it moves up, and then it crosses over the agya, and it forms the balloon on the left side of our head, which is the ego. So you maybe learned the basics about the channels before. It's okay. I might be repeating some things for you. This is the basics. And it's very important to have the basics, understand the basics, because as you move forward with Sahaja Yoga, you will be experiencing things and you will be feeling things in your hands and in your body. And all of this information is extremely helpful for your self-discovery. For once, you're learning about yourself. You're learning about new dimensions in yourself. And it's also very important for you to be able to balance yourself and know what's going on. So, you know, we are all imperfect and we go through this world, which is also very imperfect. So there will be, you know, stuff inside of us, outside of us that is affecting us and maybe even harming us or hurting us and creating imbalances in us. So Sahaja Yoga, of course, is a meditation, perfectly imperfect. Perfect, Vladimir. I love that comment. Everything is perfectly imperfect. And the best we can do really is to try and balance ourselves a little bit every day. So you guys have learned to foot soak, which is a fantastic and very, very helpful technique. And it really gives a big relief to the subtle system. Yes, we were talking about the importance of being able to balance ourselves. And most of us, we need a little bit of a balance every day. So you can see we have these two channels, and the tendency is to swing a bit from the left to the right. As we are more affected on the left, we are more affected on the right. We have things going on, or we can even say that we have a personality that tends more towards the left or tends more towards the right. So I will talk a little bit in general about the right side. What are the qualities of the right side? And what are the problems of the right side? So when the Kundalini rises, she rises through the central channel, and she acts as a flame, which means that she moves upwards. So fire is one of the few things in the world that isn't affected by gravity. It moves upwards. So the Kundalini rises as a flame through the central channel when we receive our self-realization in Sahaja Yoga. And she will gently, gently open and purify the chakras. And when she enters into the brain, then something miraculous happens. We get what is called yoga. We get a sort of a new connection with you can say with the cosmos, with the universe, with the divine, with the collective unconscious, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. It's a happening. It happens. It's real. We've all felt it. And then with that connection, it's like you plug an appliance into the wall. You start receiving not electricity, but you start receiving an energy that trickles down your subtle system. It trickles down the left and the right channel, and it calms you down, it soothes you, it nourishes you, it helps you, it heals you, it gives you everything you need to become, you can say, your full potential. So if you look at the right side of a person who has received these blessings, who have established, or who just naturally have a very balanced and positive right side, this person will have a very strong capacity to stay focused and concentrated. They can work with a steady attention for a long time without easily being distracted. This person is naturally calm, doesn't get affected by stress or by one of the, those people that when there's an emergency, they just stay completely calm and they just witness and know what to do. These are, if you have a good right side, it means that you are quick to act. You make decisions easily and you're quick to act upon your decisions, and you get things done effortlessly. That's the beautiful thing about the right side. It gives us the capacity to get things done very effortlessly, without stress, without resistance, without, all that effort. It also often, a good right side is often a person who is quite dynamic, has a lot of energy. And then on a more of a deeper level, the qualities of a person who has this right side nourished and opened up, you can say, is that they are very respectful and very trustworthy. They're very loyal, and they have this sense of duty. They fulfill their responsibilities, and they make other people feel that they are taken care of. So you can say it's the virtues of a good father. It's the virtues of fatherhood. And it's also a sort of because you see the right side, it also implies the whole ego and the mind. So it's also a sort of intelligence that is not disconnected from the heart. It's an intelligence that has wisdom, that has humor, and that has a good heart. So it's that sort of an integration. So I guess integration is an important word here, because if we look at the three channels, on the left, you have a very important organ, which is the heart, which you've probably talked about already, which is the seat of the spirit. And then on the right side, you have a very important organ, and we'll talk a little bit about today, which is the liver. And then in the center channel, we have a very important organ called the brain. So these three organs are the seat of very important aspects that must come together and be integrated. So the heart, as I said, is the seat of the spirit. And the brain is the Sahasrara, is the seat of the union, of the yoga, of our enlightenment. And the liver, perhaps you didn't know this, but the liver is the seat of our attention. It sounds maybe strange for you, but it's a very important part of our meditation practice, because our attention is our capacity to stay in the present, to stay with our spirit, to stay in the here and the now, and not get distracted and not have lots of thoughts. So it's something that is a very subtle quality, but at the same time, it's very affected by this big physical organ called the liver. So if you look at the second chakra, Swadhisthana, you might have learned already that it travels around the void. It doesn't actually sit still. It goes around and around. And this void is, of course, our abdomen, which has all of our intestines and our inner organs and liver and kidneys and spleen and stomach and all of these, and uterus and all these organs that do so much work. And you can say the Svadhisthana, it sort of collects all of this energy and information and even toxins. And it produces heat. So all of this activity, it produces heat. This might be a bit abstract, but I'm simplifying here. So all of this heat, it will travel up the right channel. Okay, it will travel up the right channel, and it will sort of accumulate in the ego, in the balloon on the head. And as we process our experiences, and they become past memories, it shifts over to the left channel, the right side of the head, which is the superego. So with all the activity that we have with our thoughts and our actions and our decisions and our family life and our work and everything, it's very, very, and all of that is very much affected down here. It tends to create some pressure on the head. Okay, I hope that made sense as a very kind of general introduction. So what will happen if our right side is not balanced? Okay, if a person has too much heat on the right side, when I say heat, there is to some extent a physical heat, but it's also like an energetic heat. It's an overactivity. If we tend to live our life always using the right side and not being balanced by the left side, we might become aggressive and hot-tempered. We might become dominating. We might become sort of, those people that are a bit dry and they kind of rationalize and want to explain everything, and they don't really feel much. We might even become cruel, because if we go too far to the right, we get disconnected from the left side. If we are, in general, a balanced, harmonious person, we might experience times of stress. So it's not that it's who we are, it's just that we are experiencing stress. And then we will become very hectic, distracted. We get kind of speedy and we cannot rest. We're thinking all the time. We have a hard time sleeping and we get high blood pressure. So these are problems that come from an overactive right side. Okay. So the left and the right, they balance each other out. So let's say you have stress in your life. I will teach some treatments and techniques that are very simple to do, that might already help you to go more towards the center. But you can say another thing to do is actually to strengthen all of the qualities of the left side, because the left side is your stability, is your happiness, is your inner peace, is your connection with the spirit, with your true self. So you can say, to correct one, you need to strengthen the other, and vice versa. Okay. So we can now watch the first video, the Guru Puja from 1995. Lebing, will you share it at 3 minutes or 5?
When we say we have become our own Guru, we should really try to find out with our introspection, are we our Guru or not? Because before this, your mind was on one side and your heart was on another side, and your attention was in another dimension. So these three things were creating confusion within you. If you understand a human being, then you will be surprised to see how these three things act separately in a human being. And sometimes they fight also. First is your intellect and your mind. Second is your heart, your feelings, your emotions. And the third one is your attention. In these modern times, this confusion is the worst because all the time your attention is outside. It could be towards beautiful things or beautiful women or beautiful men or all kinds of nonsensical way of wasting your energy. Such attention then is absolutely like a horse which is let loose. You cannot control such an attention. And this attention runs wild from one to another. It's a fashion also. It's sort of a very popular thing to keep the attention moving all the time. But this attention that has to be towards the divine, towards the Almighty, is just being frittered away. Thus, attention doesn't grow its own roots. First is to find out about yourself. Where does your attention go? What makes you feel like looking after or concern or attention? You see, the attention comes from various problems and could be your upbringing where you are not controlled. Could be your education, could be your atmosphere in which you live, or could be your own ego or your conditioning. पानी बहुत ठंडा है शायद इस वजह से क्या चाय हाँ डाल दो इसमें पी लो गर्म हो So this attention is being attacked by all these outside energies or negative forces, and it gets entangled. Like a river flowing straight into the ocean can get lost in a barren place. In the same way, this attention, which has to go towards the divine, gets frittered away and is punished. This weak attention cannot take you towards the divine. Ultimately, you find that all this attention is being completely absorbed or frittered away by the nonsense that's going on. Unfortunately or fortunately, you are born in these modern times. And in these modern times, as you know, it's a very chaotic condition. In these chaotic conditions, you don't know what is right and what is wrong. And there are all kinds of attractions which can take away your attention and reduce the energy of your attention. It is possible more for the people who are very right-sided. Also, the left-sided people can be very much affected. Right-sided people, as you know, go up to a point and become extremely dry, self-opinionated, and aggressive. All their attention is in aggression. While the people who are on the left side are indulging too much into their own whims and their desires and their own temptations. Both sides can fritter away your attention, which is the most important. It is the most valuable thing is your attention. But the attention cannot be controlled by a person who doesn't have a weak mind or a weak heart.
Okay, thank you, Lebing. So, yes, so of course this talk, she talks about the beginning, she talks about, are you your own guru? So I don't know if there's something you've already talked about. You've talked about the void and being your own guru. It's also one of the basic affirmations that we use. So of course it has to do with, again, this whole area of the Nabi, of and the second chakra, the Svadhisthana, is where our thinking arises. It might sound strange, it's down here, and we think that our thinking happens up in the head. But in our aura, in our subtle system, the basis for our thinking, our concept of reality, so to say, is in the Svadhisthana. And all the activity that happens, you know, there's this thing now, you know, they say that the gut is our second brain. You know, there's a lot of our inner world, of our thinking and feeling and perceiving and sort of digesting the world. It happens down here. So it is so important that we stabilize and calm down this whole area. So the liver sits here, and it's actually governed by both the second and the third chakra. Both of them are sort of ruling over the different organs, and the liver is shared responsibility, so to say, by both. So the liver is detoxifying the blood, as we know, and it is also dealing with the fat cells, which in its turn, those fat cells have a great importance for the brain and our thinking, because the brain is made up out of fat cells. I'm not going to get into the science of this. It's just that there's a very direct link and a direct correlation. So more than any of the other organs that I was talking about, the liver is very affected by the physical, what we eat, if there are much toxins in our life, etc. So if our liver gets too much heat, what happens is that we're not able to get rid of that heat. The liver can't really deal with the amount of heat, and then it accumulates and it starts settling in on our right side. It goes down, it goes up, and it can over time, of course, create disease. So today I asked you to bring ice packs. So for those of you who brought ice packs, this is like the introduction to that basic treatment, so that you understand why. We can put the ice pack on several places. Okay. What happened to my drawing. Oh, thank you. We can put the ice pack on the liver at the nabi level, which is up right below the last rib on the right side. We can put ice pack right here on the hip crease, where the hip bends, where the leg bends. We can also put the ice pack underneath us on the Muladhara chakra, but slightly to the right. It's the beginning of, it's not the beginning of the right side, but it's a chakra that if there's a lot of heat, there will be pressure here. We can also put an ice pack on the right side of our head. So all of these places are good places for you to cool down, and you will feel the ice, you will feel the cold, and you will feel that area cooling down, and that is the aim. The most common thing that we do in Sahaja Yoga is that we put one ice pack here on the liver. That's like a very common treatment. Sometimes we have to do it every day if we, going to work and coming home and we get a bit accelerated, or we get a bit heated up, so to say, by the day-to-day life. And then we can put an ice pack on the right side. So just go ahead now, and you can, what we can do is that we can just focus on the liver. So we can put one ice pack at the upper side of the abdomen. You might need to hold that with your arm or something. And then the other one, you can just put it either, if you're able to put it in your pocket, or just under your trousers or whatever you're wearing, or just so it sits there on the hip crease, whatever works for you. You can also take a scarf and tie it so that it sits tightly. Okay. And try to be brave and put it, just on top of your first layer of clothing, so that you're actually feeling the cold. You don't want to cool down your warm sweater. You want to cool down actually your physical liver. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to watch another video. It's quite an amazing video where Sri Mataji is sitting with yogis. So she's not giving any kind of explanation or teaching. She's, oh, right, where to put it. Yes. So we will, can you see when I'm pointing here, we will put it on the right side, just below the rib cage, the last rib cage, right? It's right here. It's on your physical liver. So your liver is just next to your stomach. It's up here, okay? And then the other part is just down here where your thigh starts. It's like just here where it bends, but on the right side. It's not down here, it's up here, just where your leg bends. So if I'm showing you with my finger, it's just like right there. If this is my leg and this is my torso, okay, it's just right there. Does that make sense? You can unmute and talk to me, that's fine. If you have questions, you can just unmute and shoot. Okay.
Yes. So the right side, in between the hip and the stomach,
and the leg,
yeah.
It's right where it bends,
Yeah.
If I do like this, if this is my leg now, it's right there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's called the hip crease, I think, in English.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's one, and the other is.
I can show you. I can stand up and show you. So I'm holding it. It's right here. I'm being blurred. Well, hello there. It's right here.
Okay.
Okay. So this is my last rib right there, and then it's just right there.
Okay.
Just underneath and then the other one, if you can see me, it's down here.
Oh, on the same side.
Yeah. It's all on the right side.
Okay.
These two places. So we're just going to have our ice packs there while we continue our session. It's just for you to see, check your state. Maybe you will feel better, maybe you won't. But the point for today is just to teach you different ways to cool down your right side and to balance yourself. So of course, if you're perfectly balanced, these techniques, you won't be needing them much, but they won't harm you. So of course, everything in Sahaja Yoga is depending on your state. So what we want you to be able to is to evaluate what is the state of my subtle system, what's going on with me today, and what can I do to balance myself. There isn't really anything that you should do A, B, C, and then you should do 1, 2, 3, and then no, you should check yourself and then act accordingly. That's how we should use the treatments. Okay. So before we watch the next video, I'm just going to take you through, because Shri Mataji in just a few minutes, it's like a 5-6 minutes little episode, little video we're going to watch. She goes through a whole series of treatments, and they're all about calming down and cooling down the right side in order for the yogis to be able to meditate. Because if the right side is too active, the mind will be too active and there will be a constriction here, and the Kundalini does not rise beyond this point, and our attention keeps getting pulled into the ego and into the thinking. That's why it's so important. Okay, so let me just see here. What does she do? Well, first of all, she laughs and she does like this. Oh, I'm sorry, she does like this, and everyone knows what that means, because she's with yogis, she's not with beginners. So everyone's like, oh yeah, right. So this is the finger that will start kind of, you will feel like a pain or a tingling, or which means that the chakra, the Svadhisthana on the right side is catching. This is how we call it. Catching means that it's blocked somehow and we need to relieve it. Okay, and this chakra, the Svadhisthana on the right side, which is the hip crease, has very much to do with forcing the thinking and thinking too much and wanting to control things, control the future and plan a lot. And it's that kind of mind that just goes to the future and wants to make plans and be in control and being on top of everything. When that's too much, this chakra will start to kind of suffer a bit. It can also be on the nabi, which is the middle finger, but the nabi is more sensitive to stress and upset and eating too much fat or not eating very healthy food, or things like that. So the combination, really, if you have a combination, it means that your liver is really having a hard time and you need to take care of it. So she does like that, and then she does the left hand up, which you've probably done already. And it's a very basic technique that we can do with her. So while you're watching the video, you can follow her instructions. And then she says, put your left hand on nabi. So what I was showing before, when I got up, when I put my left hand here, this is where you have your ice pack already. Another way of taking heat out of the liver is putting your left hand on the liver, which the left will pull out the heat. And then she's blowing on the microphone and she's blowing on the thumb, and it's all to cool us down. So you can see what she's doing is like a workshop. She's perceiving what's going on in the group, and she's trying to help them energetically to balance themselves. And then she will massage her hand, massage her right hand, and then you will see this movement. She's throwing away the heat. So that's also something we can do. If we have like too much energy, we can just throw it off. We can do like that, and it will relieve us. And then she will say, use the mantra to forgive. I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. And she and then she will ask us to watch the bindi, the red dot on her forehead. So that's all about opening up this chakra on the head. Okay, so Lebing, let's watch it until 6 minutes. Okay, when she says I forgive.
So, now what is the suggestion? Everyone, still. So I would
Bit more
suggest
sound.
put your right hand towards me and left hand up. Right hand towards me. And left hand up. Did you hear that? आवाज येऊन राहिला. आवाज कसला येतो? रेल्वेचा. इंजिनचा आवाज. तुमचा रेल्वे इंजिन. सर टाइम सुरू होऊन राहिले. टाइम सुरू होता. सगळं विशुद्धी निघून राहिली. विशुद्धी निघते. संपूर्ण राईट विशुद्धी निघते. Just do it like that. Right Vishuddhi, right. I think put your left hand on your liver. Left hand on your liver. Now just watch me without thinking. And forgive, forgive, forgive. Forgive everyone. Forgive everyone.
Okay, thank you, Libby. So it goes on, but this is just a little taster of things that you can do to balance your right side. I just want to teach you a few, maybe one or two more things that you can do, which are very, very helpful. So for this, you need to look at me now. Can you see me? I'll demonstrate. So a very good technique that I use very often is that maybe can I just spotlight myself? Yeah. Is that you take, when you do the bandhan, when you do the protection. So here we're going to take up the left side and push down. You can just do it with me, okay? Just push down the right side. So what we're doing is that we're taking up the left, and this calm, nourishing energy of the left is going up. So we're kind of giving it a boost, and then we're pushing down the heat of the right side, so that energy gets a bit less. So we're doing more of the left and less of the right. It's a really, really good technique. If you feel you just need to steady yourself, calm yourself, center yourself. And make sure that when you do these techniques of moving the hands, etc., putting a hand on the chakra, that you're always doing it with absolute attention, that you're very present with it, because it'll only work if your attention, again, the attention is on it. If you're doing it and you're thinking about something else, or your attention is like not even interested, nothing is going to happen. It's not going to have any effect. So when I do this, I often start feeling more cool vibrations in my hands, which is what I'm actually feeling now. So doing it a few times, and you can do this like, if you want, you can do it like 108 times. You can, if you want, you can take away the ice. If it feels good, you can keep it. It's fine. The ice pack, I'm just answering a question here. Should we still have it? I can understand they might be falling away. I don't know how you're keeping them there. I just wanted you to know how to do the ice pack. And you can have one ready in your freezer for any time. I use this very simple thing from IKEA. I don't use it for anything else. I just pop it on my liver and then I pop it back into the freezer. Might rinse it off. So the left to the right for me is very soothing and very calming, and often makes me feel more vibrations. So that's a great one. And you can also take, if there's a constriction on the ego, it's very nice to take your finger, all your fingers, and just pull across the forehead like that, and then just gently shake it off. So you're relieving the ego and the pressure on the head. Okay. And if you were to do, sorry, I'm a bit blurred here. Can you still see me? If you were to do an ice pack on the head, you would then just simply hold it against your head like that, anywhere it feels good on the left side. Okay. It can be really nice to just sit with that a few minutes until you sort of feel the head cooling down. It's really nice to do in the summer. Okay. Any questions so far about the treatments? No? Yes, ice pack always on the right side, absolutely. We don't use ice on the left side. So in Sahaja Yoga, we balance our subtle system using the elements of nature. So we use the earth, we use fire for the left side. So we can use a candle for the left side and use a candle on the right side of the head. And then we use an ice pack on the liver and the ego, which is the right side of the body and the left side of the head, because the channels, they cross over here. Okay. Good. Any more question? Cool down right side of the body and left side on head. Yes, that's it, Emma. Because the channel crosses over. So the right channel goes up here, and then it crosses over here, as you will see on the diagram. And here it forms the balloon of the ego. Okay, it sits here. So these two balloons, ego and superego, which basically past and future, and then the central channel It pierces through here, pierces through the agya where the two channels cross. So this is a very important point. And later in the video, Shimataji does this. She does this, and she makes like a cross. So she relieves the pressure of the ego with the hand, and then she kind of makes the Kundalini rise through, because this is the gate. It's like the gate to heaven. We need to cross over here in order to be here. Okay, is it making sense for you guys, or is it just a whole lot of information? Oh, good, Vladimir, good, good. You can ask questions anytime, and you can unmute yourself as well. So one more thing that you can do, it's similar to the one we did left to right. You can take your hand, your right hand, thank you, and you can take your right hand, let you do this with me now, take your right hand, and just from the behind, you push down the left side of the head, and you push down the right side. Okay, you're just taking all that heat and just relieving the right side, just kind of giving it a break. Okay, if you were to do the same for the left side, you would go from the back and just go around the back and down the left side. You can do that too if you want to do it with both. Okay, or you can do both hands up, cross, and down. I love that one. You can go up with both hands, cross over, push down ego and superego, and just go down like that. Okay, so let's now take advantage of the last part of the session and do a meditation. So let's not look at me anymore. Levin, can we have the beautiful picture? Any kind of picture, actually. We can look at that one. It's fine. Thank you. Okay. So you all know how to take up your Kundalini and do Bandhan, right? Yes. I don't need to show you that. Yes, you do. So let's do that together, which we should always do before meditating. We can do it together. We take up our Kundalini once and we tie a knot, and the knot that we tie is so that our attention stays in the Sahasrara above our head. Second time, and we tie that knot again. It's a symbolic but very important knot. We want to keep our attention above the Sahasrara. And the third time we can take 3 knots, one for each channel. Then we do a bandhan. So left hand open and all the way from below you, over you. 1. Do it slowly with attention. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So just feel your feet against the floor. Try to feel the weight of your body. Perhaps if you have ice packs, just put them away now. So it's just you and your hands open on your lap. And the first thing we're going to do a little exercise that you can use before meditating. It's called pranas and manas, which means we take the energy from the left, the qualities of the left, and we take the qualities from the right, and they meet in the center. Because all of these techniques, all of them is about preparing us to go to the center, to go to the Sahasrara, and to be in that silence. So we can just, first of all, pay attention to our heart, to the whole area of the heart. sort of the space of the heart. And whatever is going on there, however you feel, just be with it. Notice it. Don't react to it. Don't have an opinion about it. Just with a very kind awareness, be present with that feeling. That feeling that is always there, that is you. So allow yourself to sort of sink into your heart with your attention. Just be there. And we sort of bowing our head to the heart, to this beautiful place of our heart. And now we can start to pay attention to our breathing. Okay? Again, we're not trying to change our breathing. We're just going to pay attention. How is our breathing? We're just noticing our breath. And maybe as we are paying attention to it, it starts slowing down, starts going deeper, it starts relaxing. And now, with your attention on the breath, you bring into the same awareness that space of the heart. And you bring together these two areas of you, the feeling and the breath. And we're going to take a while now to just sit in silence. Just give yourself some extra time today, a few more minutes than you would normally sit. And really ask for this peace and this inner silence to establish itself. Okay, thank you all very much. We can gently open our eyes. So I would love to hear if anyone would like to share.